Ебатону. Вообще взлетал отсюда.
Hare Krishna, good evening. We continue reading Bhagavad Gita as it is by chapters. Today we will talk about chapter 5, which is called Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, this is one of the jewels of Bhagavad Gita. Every chapter is so wonderful. So this chapter talks about again the art of action. What is action? What is inaction? We will see it very soon. It starts with a question by Arjuna. Arjuna Vacha Sanyasam Karmanam Krishna Punar Yogam Cha Samshasi. Ya Chaya Etayorekam Tanme Bruhin Sunishchitam. Arjuna said, "O Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work. And then again, you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely, which of the two is more beneficial?" Yes, Arjuna is kind of confused, perplexed. He doesn't know what is the right action. He heard from Krishna in the second chapter that you should act by intelligence, by buddhi, in Krishna consciousness. Buddhi yoga is the same as devotional service, which means that you should not incur any sinful reaction and things like that. Then he talks about in fourth chapter especially, he talks about different kinds of sacrifices. And he says that all the sacrifices, they will culminate in knowledge. So at the end of this chapter, or the fourth chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna that now you should fight, armed with perfect knowledge, you should fight. So Arjuna is like, really wants to know what is the right thing to do. First, you asked me to renounce work, and now tell me that you recommend work with devotion. What is the right course? And Krishna answers. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. So, what does the renunciation of work mean? Is it just stopping cessation of work, or something else? Well, work which is done for sense gratification is a cause of bondage to this world. If one acts for sense gratification, then one is sure to be entangled, to become entangled. And entanglement means that one has to get a new body again and again and again. So one is captured in this world. That's why one needs to know, one needs to have knowledge, transcendental knowledge, which is jnana, and act on the platform of the soul, not on the platform of the body. So, working on the platform of the soul means that you understand to whom everything belongs, and merely renouncing the work will not free one from the bondage, because it's not enough. It's not just enough. Not doing anything. It's not enough. First of all, you cannot stay idle without doing anything. This is not possible. So you have to engage in some activities. That's why using everything in the service of Krishna is the right mode of action. And it brings you to liberation. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. Almighty armed Arjuna. See, this is a very important thing. You should not hate nor desire the fruits of your activities. So you should act as obligated, and then you are renounced. This is actual renunciation, is when you neither desire nor hate. For example, oh, if I do this, it's terrible, it's this and that, but it's your duty. For example, what shall I say? I'm a medical doctor, so for sometimes and quite often, I have to do something which is not so pleasant, but I have to do it because that's for the benefit of the patient. So I should not hate these things. I have to do it. And I should not be attached to doing or not doing it. I should just do it what is necessary. Then we continue the next verse. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both. Yes, devotional service, karma yoga. Karma yoga in this chapter is defined as devotional service. Yes, because the karma yoga, meaning of karma yoga is that you do something which frees you from bondage and doesn't entangle you more in this world. So the only action which can do that, only karma, is acting in Krishna consciousness in devotional service for Krishna's sake. Um, and this, and on the other hand, analytical study of this world, Sankhya Yoga, studying this world, studying different elements, like 24 different elements, 5 senses of action, 5 senses of knowledge, 5 objects of senses, and so on, and mind, and intelligence, and ego, and altogether 24. When you analyze these things, you understand neither of them has consciousness. Consciousness is attributed to the soul, 25th element. Then you understand what soul is beyond these 24 material elements. But then you understand what is 26th element, which is the super soul, which is the source of us, of the soul. And when you understand what the supreme or super soul is, then you want to engage in serving him. So you come to the same point anyway. So these two things are actually the same. If you apply to one of them properly, you come to the same result. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. Yeah, that's what we just said. Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. Yes, it's not enough just to say no to activities. First of all, as we said, this is not possible. Krishna says in one place in Bhagavad Gita, you cannot stay 1 second without doing anything. This is not possible. So, I mean, doing nothing, it cannot be done. So you have to do something. What you have to do is to serve the Lord with devotion. So without devotional service, merely renunciation is not enough. It cannot make one happy. Just like Mayavadis, when they, renounce this world as if. So they don't want to do anything. They criticize devotees who engage in constructing temples, selling the books, serving the deities, and cooking for the deities, and so on and so forth, and preaching. So they think these are material activities, but they are not material activities. So, and Mayavadis are quite dry. I mean, personalists are very dry people because they have no joy, real joy. So, but one intelligent person who just engages in devotional service achieves the supreme without delay. See, na chi rena, without delay. I mean, in Sanskrit, means that you don't have to wait too long. You just realize this bliss of devotional service, and you come to Krishna immediately. One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. See, this is the right way of doing something. One, person in devotion, he's a pure soul, and he's dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. He's real kind-hearted person. So everybody talks about Srila Prabhupada, how wonderful he was, and no matter if he just chastised somebody or not, I mean, everybody remembers him as extremely kind-hearted. Sometimes he had to criticize or chastise or even punish somebody in some way, and not somebody but his disciples. He wouldn't do it for others because this is the duty of the guru. But he would immediately show so much love and affection to these people that they would never forget it, because this is something very special. Only Srila Prabhupada and Paramahamsas like him could do. Nobody else. You cannot imitate this. You cannot just be kind and nice artificially. So, and such person, even though he works all the time, he is never entangled. That's the point, because he would not exploit other people for any reason. That's why he won't become engaged in material ways with other living entities, because he sees everyone as Krishna's servant and he serves them in different ways. So he doesn't want to. That's why he doesn't have the idea of sense gratification, his own sense gratification. So that's why he's never entangled. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all, because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects, and that he is aloof from them. Yes, this is the realization: I'm not this body. So he knows that the body is just external. It has nothing to do with him. He is somehow or other placed within the body, and he uses this body just to act in this world. Nowadays, we have in surgery a method called robotic surgery. Robotic surgery means that you don't operate by your hands. You don't touch the body of the patient. You don't cut. You don't do anything. You don't have direct contact with the patient. But you look in the computer, a special computer and screen, where you can see the operation field, and it's just like joysticks, just like what you call it, power. What you call it? Oh my God, this computer play. Um, Power station or something. What you call it? I forgot. Anyway, just like a computer game, basically. So you operate through some robotic hands which has, in one hand, the robot has the knife, in the other has something else, pin set or something, different things. So, and you sit somewhere and patient is somewhere else in the room. You're quite far from the patient. But because of this robot, it goes there and robot does all these things. You dictate. So just like that, just like this surgeon, he tells to the body what to do. So he's aloof from it. He just not mixed with this body, just like that. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. Why is lotus often used in Vaishnava literature? Because lotus is beautiful, first of all, extremely beautiful. Real lotuses are just really beautiful. And it grows in the water, but is never touched by the water. That's why, I mean, Krishna's lotus feet are compared to lotuses, because Krishna's feet are compared to lotus flowers, because even though he comes in this world, he's never touched by matter. So just like lotus is never moistened by water. In the same way, if you do your duty without attachment and surrender all the results to the Supreme Lord, you will not become affected by sinful actions. The yogis abandoning attachment act with body, mind, and intelligence, and even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification. Yes, in other words, they don't act for sense gratification, because this is not purification, this is contamination. So everything the yogi has, he will use it for purification. His body, his mind, he will never contaminate himself. Yogi in this case doesn't mean Ashtanga yogi or Hatha yogi. It is a bhakti yogi. It's a Krishna's devotee. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. Yes, well, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shanta Mukti Pukti Sitikami Sakale Ashanta. So only Krishna's devotee, Krishna Bhakta, knows the real peace. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. Nishkam means, kama means desire, Nishkam means without desire, without material desires. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atayava Shanta. He attains Shanti, peace, real peace, just like in this verse. And the others, like Bhukti, just sense gratification, material people, materialistic. Bhukti Mukti, those who desire liberation. Siddhikami means those who desire mystic powers, yogis. Sakale Ashanta, all of them are Ashantas. They have no peace. They're always anxious. They have no peace. Exactly the same thing as it says in this verse. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of nine gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done. So this is the recipe how to live in this world, in this body, without peacefully and happily and without entanglement. If you control your nature and you mentally renounce everything, all actions. In other words, you do something, but you do it because you have to do it. And then you can live happily in the city of nine gates, which is the material body. What are the nine gates? Two eyes, two ears, these are four, nose, five, the mouth, six, two nostrils actually, six, seven, and anus and genitals. These are the nine gates. Nine gates. In other words, information can come through this eyes, ears, and so on. So this is called, and the body is compared to the city of nine gates. The embodied spirit, master of the city of the body, of his body, does not create actions, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. This is a very mysterious thing. When you realize yourself, when you see that, you are not this body, and the body just, goes on doing things like that, and you are actually not really engaged in this. So you can see that the modes of nature are working. So it's a very high realization. Yeah. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. So, the same way as the Supreme Lord isn't affected by sinful or pious activities by others. Yeah, but our ordinary living beings like us, embodied beings, but we are spirit souls, but we are embodied. We are in this body, and we are very much uh, connected with this body so much that we don't even remember who we are. So our real knowledge is covered. We have no idea. We can talk about I'm not this body, but so how many people really understand it? The one who understands it is full of joy, immediately full of joy, um, because this is the nature of the spirit soul. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nations is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Yes, so in this first verse, it was said that ignorance will cover the real knowledge, but if you have knowledge, it will light up everything, just like sun lights up everything in the daytime. So wonderful comparison. When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refugee are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge, and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. See, when our subtle body, mind, faith, and so on, intelligence, are all fixed in the Supreme, then we, become free of doubts and misgivings and problems, and then we go straight on the path of liberation. Liberation becomes just our rightful claim. Any questions so far? If there are any? No questions. Okay. Now comes the very famous verse. Vidya vinaya sampane brahmane gavihastini shunir chaiva shvapagicha pandita samadarshina. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater outcast. So, this vision is nothing to be imitated. It comes with purity, with the knowledge. Due to divine knowledge, you can see the same spirit soul, same kind, same potentially kind of spirit soul is in everybody. So if you think about equality of everyone on the bodily basis, this is not very intelligent, because on the bodily level, we are not equal at all. somebody is much stronger, so much more beautiful, and so on. But on the spiritual level, everybody is equal. It's not on the bodily level, not at all. I mean, so we are not equal, but that's actually the proof of the spirit existence of the soul, because this equality is true. It is true, but not on the bodily level if you don't understand the spirit. So how can what shall I say, the dog or a man be the same? I mean, it's not the same. But the same spirit soul is in potentially the same power as all the spirit souls, absolutely. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So if you are, establishing sameness and equanimity, means that you are balanced, very much balanced. So you're already beyond the birth and death. You are already liberated. So and you are flawless, means you have no flaw, no defect. You are just flawless like Brahman, and thus you are already in Brahman. So this is Brahman level, Brahman realization, Brahmananda level, which is described in later chapters, especially at the end of 18th chapter. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence. Oh, I had a bad day today, kind of. I mean, because I had some experiences which maybe was not so, were not so bad, but I felt it like unpleasant. So I was like, ooh, that was. But if you meet all these things, just of course you can react. Of course you shouldn't be like stupid, just indifferent to everything. But if you control yourself, if you keep the composure, keep the balance, equanimity. So this is very good. This is a sign of knowledge. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Yes, sense pleasures are actually just like poison. If you get involved in sense pleasures, you will only suffer. So if you and liberated person is not engaged in sense pleasures anymore. He only eats so much as is necessary for the maintenance of the body, and sleeps as much as is necessary, and so on. So yes, and because he enjoys the unlimited happiness within. So an intelligent person doesn't take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. A son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Again, doesn't intelligent person doesn't enjoy this, senses and the objects. For example, oh, you should eat this. This is very pleasant, but this is not. This is not good, whatever it may be. You should eat only Krishna prasadam, and so on. So if when you say no to sense pleasures, then you are actually quite advanced, because these sense pleasures. Of course, doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat, or we shouldn't become crazy, but if you eat Krishna prasad, this is nice. This is the right way to keep the body and soul together. But you are not after, oh, how can I enjoy now? How can I enjoy? You don't chase after sense objects. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he's well situated and is happy in this world. Yes, if we control these different forces, and in the third chapter it was mentioned a lot about these things, and second chapter as well. So if we control these things, then we are very happy in this world. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. Yes, this within thing gives you liberation, and you attain the Supreme. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. Yes, quite clear, I would say. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have any comments. It's just very self-evident. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. This state of yoga doesn't mean that you should sit in the yoga asana all the time. It means that you are here I mean, you are very highly situated. I mean, you are not in real low chakras. Your concentration is really high up, and always concentrated on Supreme. This can be done actually if we chant Hare Krishna very carefully. This can be done. We can achieve this state. Only doing yoga is not enough. So if you chant Hare Krishna very carefully, without offense, taking shelter at the holy name of Lord Chaitanya and Panchatattva, and Harinam, Namaprabhu, if you take shelter of the holy name, then we can achieve this state. And the final shloka, Bhaktaram Yagatavasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Suhridam Sarvaputanam, Kyatva Mam Shantim Brichati. This Shanti, again, I mean, it's a lot of talk about peace in this Shanti, in this chapter. So now, how to achieve the real Shanti. Srila Prabhupada called this shloka a peace formula. He said that you have to go to the United Nations and tell them that their commissions, their meetings, they don't help. They have to understand this shloka from Bhagavad Gita, which says, "A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and the well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries." So if you want to attain peace from the troubles and pains, pangs means, you are captivated by material miseries. You have to understand three things, as Prabhupada says. You have to understand that Krishna, everything, all the sacrifices, all the austerities, everything we do should be for the satisfaction of Krishna. This is the meaning of beneficiary. I'm the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. In the bank system, a beneficiary means who has to get benefits from this thing. I mean, whom everything belongs. I mean, this bank account, whatever, all this money, all these assets. So in other words, you should understand that everything belongs to Krishna, and everything Krishna is the everything should be done for the pleasure of Krishna, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods. Then I'm the Supreme Lord of all planets, of the demigods. So that's it. I mean, everyone, everything, I'm the Supreme Lord of. And he says a benefactor. Benefactor means one who does the benefit for others. Who brings you good things. Who is your friend basically, and well-wisher of all living entities. Benefactor and well-wisher. Krishna is not just a dictator. People think God is just not kind, which is stupid. This is totally wrong. If you understand how kind is Krishna, so then you can attain, you will not suffer anymore, in other words. So this is the peace formula. So these three things we should understand. So the genius of Srila Prabhupada is he would he would say, go and talk with the United Nations people and tell them about this peace formula. Yes, this was the last text in the fifth chapter. So, do you have anything to add or anything to comment or questions? Not really, which is absolutely fine. I would like to thank you. Oh, please, Prabhu, you have the hand raised. Let me see. Or what? No message. I maybe didn't see that. Sorry for that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't open that.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Nandaprya Prabhu, for your dedication for this Bhagavad Gita class, and very much thankful to Kalinda Mataji too. And actually, so less people come, I understand, but still you are quite trying your best. So we are very happy to hear your realization. I have one question regarding liberation. Once Prabhupada said, my disciple is the liberated soul. Maybe you heard about that.
Yeah.
And also another time I heard from Prabhupada lecture, he said, when you are liberated, you just enjoy. So, I mean, it's affect me. I was thinking, when I will be liberated, to just enjoy. Can you please little bit describe this for us, so young generation can also understand this point?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. There are a few verses in this chapter which says that if you are liberated, then if you enjoy within yourself, if you get the pleasures inside from the soul, from collecting for thinking of Krishna and doing things for Krishna and things like that, and the source of happiness is not just eating something, connecting your senses with the sense object. If instead of these things, one enjoys chanting Hare Krishna, serving Krishna, and so on, serving Guru and preaching and so on. So this is the real enjoyment. One is much more happier than those who enjoy the sense objects. So devotee by definition is a liberated soul because, but if devotee wants to, is not strict enough strict devotees, nice devotees or fixed devotees, they are liberated. But so it takes seriousness. we should take it very seriously, because sometimes we become kind of complacent and think, oh, maybe material world is not so bad anyway. We should not hate material world, by the way. We should not hate it, but we should not enjoy it either.
Mhm. Yeah, so enjoyment, considering it means if you are above the three gunas,
Yeah.
somehow soul can get this enjoyment already within. So in that case, liberation means free from the three gunas, material nature, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Well, a liberated person sometimes acts totally, people cannot understand what they do, because they sometimes cry, sometimes dance, sometimes, shout loudly, sometimes roll on the ground. I mean, we shouldn't do, I mean, we shouldn't imitate those liberated souls, but I mean, one who is liberated is so happy that sometimes he cannot even hide those symptoms. And
So spiritual happiness is how to say, real, somehow give us a liberation symptom, as I understood, isn't it?
yeah. Brahmaputra prasanat manashochati gangshati sama sarveshum puteshu bhaktim lapatir. When one is about the modes, then he's very happy, and he's doesn't care about gain and loss, and he just looks equal, looks to everyone with equal eyes, and he's always happy. Prasanatma, Brahmaputra prasanatma means that, really happy, really, really extremely happy. Yeah.
One more question, because so far we have less people. Another question. Sometimes we meet some people who's in goodness, enjoying life, so they don't want to take care about Krishna consciousness, but they say, I'm happy, I am. Sometimes Western world, you can see these people, even in India, sometimes we can see. So in that case, so is it can we say that they have some goodness in that case, if they are rejecting, I mean, they don't care about spirituality? Can we say this is the goodness, enjoyment in goodness, or just ignorance mixed with goodness, something?
Yeah. Well, material goodness means actually one is purified. I mean, the idea of goodness is that one is free from sinful actions, like, and sinful actions are just for regulatory principles. I mean, no, violating for regular. So if one doesn't follow the regulatory principles and is just happy, nicely dressed, has lots of money, he's just in his good karma, and he's misusing his good karma. Just like in this chapter, it was said that the liberated soul knows that everything has an end in this world, beginning and an end. So this is actually very and such person thinks that, okay, I will be just happy all the time, also next life, but you never know what happens next life. So if by Krishna's mercy one is given very good karma, then you should use it for Krishna. So we shouldn't think that, oh, now I come to an end, so now I'm just happy. No, say thank you to Krishna for giving you these good results, and use them in Krishna's service. Yeah.
So unless person, he doesn't care, so Krishna, he doesn't care about service, so it means his goodness just temporary with mix
Yeah.
something, yes, isn't it?
Yes. Yes,
Because
exactly.
pure goodness is different, as you explained already.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Pure,
absolutely. There is
pure
no
good.
pure goodness without Krishna. There is
Yeah.
no chance of purification without connecting with Krishna. One can become definitely better situated than people in raja, in passion and ignorance, of course, and this is good. But it's not the final stage. We have to go further by accepting spiritual master, accepting the process of bhakti yoga.
So that's the main, how to say, key point starting go toward the goodness.
Yes.
Accepting spiritual master, accepting Guru Parampara, and that's the relief from us materialistic mentality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Great.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, my how to say, camera doesn't work. I
Oh, it's okay. Oh, no problem. No problem.
Thank you. Anyone has maybe a question?
Thank you. I think we should definitely go on with these classes, which are quite which are so important for me, at least. When I give the class, I have to concentrate my mind on Krishna's words. What can be better? What can be better? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Actually, I want to say about Nandaprya Prabhu. I know him since 1989. We met, I think, in Abkhazia when Guru visited there.
Yes.
So then I know him since 93, 94. We lived together in the BBT, Bhaktivedanta Bookstras house.
Yes.
So I know him, very respectable person among the European devotees. As I always very respectful to him. He's more as a elder brother, and he also respectable toward me. Thank you for your great heart, and always friendly with everyone. Doesn't matter whoever is there is very friendly with everyone. Actually, we supposed to bring here more people. I just attract him. Prabhu come. His accept is very much very by heart. So unfortunately, not many people approaching here. So, but he's very dedicated to this. We are very thankful to him for his service.
It's no problem. I felt like there are like 100,000 people listening. It's not. I mean, it's beyond some material measurements. So when we talk about Bhagavad Gita, anyway, people can listen later anytime. So these recordings are there. It's not. We just.
It will stay. It will stay with us here. All people can hear.
I think it's a great project. Thank you, Nandaprya Prabhu, and for starting this project. Thank you so much. And I can say the same things you said about me. You are one of the most dedicated devotees I know. Totally, fully devoted to Krishna and Guru. So I'm so blessed I know you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Hare
See you soon again. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Mondays and Thursdays. Haribol. Hare Krishna.